census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the 90s flicks that'll have your skin crawling long after you've watched them. Number 10, Reservoir Dogs.
Mr. Brown, Mr. White, Mr. Blonde, Mr. Blue, Mr. Orange, Mr. Pink.
Arguably overshadowed by Pulp Fiction, which was released 2 years later, Quentin Tarantino's directorial debut gave movie lovers an early glimpse into what the Oscar-winning auteur was made of. As part of the early 90s indie cinema boom that revolutionized the film industry, Reservoir Dogs defied movie studios' tropes and cliches in a number of ways, chiefly among them, its reprehensible main characters.
Come on, throw in a buck.
I don't tip.
You don't tip?
No, I don't believe in it.
You don't believe in tipping?
A gang of seasoned career criminals, they're not above using extreme violence to pull off the unseen heist that drives the film's plot. With no one to root for, and not a single moral compass in sight, Tarantino gleefully challenges his audience's expectations to thrilling and chilling effect.
You can torture me all you want.
Torture you, that's a good idea. I like that one.
Number 9, Twin Peaks: Fire Walk with Me.
Gordon, it's 10:10 a.m. on February 16th. I was worried about today because of the dream I told you about.
Who'd have guessed that this prequel/sequel/spin-off of a cult classic ABC detective drama would turn out to be one of the best horror movies of the 90s, and that it'd feature arguably one of the greatest performances in a scary movie, that of Sheryl Lee reprising her Twin Peaks role of Laura Palmer. After exiting the show during its second season due to creative disagreements, beloved surrealist director David Lynch agreed to return in helming this follow-up, but this time, Lynch did things his way, and it really shows.
I'm not going to talk about Judy. In fact, we're not going to talk about Judy at all. We're going to keep her out of it.
Gordon?
I know, Coop.
Who do you think this is there?
Fire Walk with Me strongly foreshadows his narratively experimental approach to the show's 2017 Showtime revival. In typical David Lynch fashion, it'll freak you out and break your heart.
When this kind of fire starts, it is very hard to put out. The tender boughs of innocence burn first.
Number 8, Misery.
It's not gonna hurt forever, Paul, I promise you.
Will I be able to walk?
Of course you will. And your arm will be fine too.
Maybe this is controversial to say, but has any film director had as consistently strong of a run as Rob Reiner did from 1986 to 1992? Reiner's penultimate project before the ruinous 1994 family drama North brought that run to a screeching halt. The Stephen King adaptation Misery is perhaps best known for Kathy Bates' Oscar-winning performance as deluded fangirl Annie Wilkes.
I asked God about you, and God said, I delivered him unto you so that you may show him the way.
Show me the way.
Yes.
Bates as Wilkes takes standing Paul Sheldon, her favorite writer as played by James Caan, several steps too far. She holds him hostage and forces him to write a book that caters to her demands, and that's somehow the least of her many transgressions.
You're gonna write a new novel. Your greatest achievement ever. Misery's Return.
Misery's Return?
I know you didn't mean it when you killed her.
Number 7, Eyes Wide Shut.
Did you ever read the Latin poet Ovid on the art of love?
Didn't he wind up all by himself, crying his eyes out?
Visionary director Stanley Kubrick's final film, this challenging psychological drama cast then real-life husband and wife duo Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman as a married couple who dig into the disturbing underbelly of New York City. What follows is a one-night odyssey of hedonism, debauchery, and uncovering a secret society.
I love you.
Mary, we barely know each other. I don't think we've had a single conversation about anything except your father.
Almost more disturbing than the actual content that the film depicts, maybe the fact that, despite the events of the film taking place over the course of an evening, it actually took over a year of shooting before Kubrick's production finally wrapped, a fact acknowledged even by Guinness World Records, who deemed it the longest constant film shoot ever. That Stanley was a real perfectionist.
It's just relax, Alice. This pot is making you aggressive.
Number 6, Seven.
Someone broke into his law firm and bled him to death. Wrote the word greed on the floor.
When the 7 in your film's title refers to the 7 deadly sins, it's pretty clear that you're not starting off in a very cheerful place. The gloomy, rainy, almost dystopian setting, the troubled, traumatized detectives, director David Fincher's jet-black neo-noir is not intended for the faint of heart. Fincher's true mainstream breakthrough after Alien 3 had flopped a few years earlier. 7 chills to the bone as a result of the future Oscar nominee's distinctive filmmaking style.
Don't try to tell me you didn't get that rush tonight. I saw you. We're getting somewhere.
Of course, Andrew Kevin Walker's juicy, twisted script is the film's backbone, and the clashing lead performances of Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman underscore its palpable tension, making it real. Has such a dark, shiver-inducing plot twist ever resulted in this many memes?
I saw you with the box. What was in the box?
Because I envy your normal life.
Put the gun down, David.
It seems that envy is my sin.
Oh, what's in the box?
Number 5. Crash.
You recognize her? That's Gabrielle. You saw right outside the door there.
This cerebral, sensual Canadian thriller was more than just a little controversial at the time of its premiere at the 1996 Cannes Film Festival. Director David Cronenberg was then better known for his body horror movies like The Fly, Videodrome, and Scanners, so the idea of a Cronenberg romantic drama must have seemed odd to fans. Thankfully, the ever-daring filmmaker retained his signature, deeply gross spark with Crash.
You had sex with all those men in cars? Only in cars?
Yes, I didn't plan it that way.
Without going into all the literally gory details, Cronenberg's adaptation of J.G. Ballard's 1973 novel holds up as being hard to stomach. Its all-star cast, including American stars James Spader, Holly Hunter, and Rosanna Arquette, goes all in, portraying a found family of symphoraphiliacs. Google it. Or, maybe don't.
I'm sure we see this again in slow motion. Closer, I mean. In detail.
We can watch another tape. You brought lots of tapes.
No,
There's tons.
I know this tape.
Number 4. Natural Born Killers.
When them people come here and they ask you who done this, you tell them Mickey and Mallory Knox.
All things considered, it's not shocking that there are multiple films on our list that have Quentin Tarantino's distinctive fingerprints on them. Directed by Scarface screenwriter Oliver Stone, who rewrote Tarantino's original screenplay alongside David Veloz and Richard Tukovsky, Killers is an over-the-top action bonanza that doubles as a bitter, biting social and cultural satire.
After that, there was just no stopping Mickey and Mallory. They tore up the countryside with their vengeance right out of the Bible.
Stone's film ignited a fiery discourse when released, receiving widespread criticism for its use of graphic, even excessive violence. It's hard to deny that Natural Born Killers is a slickly made, highly entertaining shoot-'em-up that has something to say. Your mileage may vary, however, when it comes to the way its message is expressed.
Rattlesnake took a chunk out of us a ways back, and me and my wife are pretty sick. Could be dying, you never can tell about these things, so...
Number 3. Funny Games.
Wie sind Sie denn reingekommen?
Vorne. Ich meine unten am Strand.
Aber Sie sind doch gar nicht nass.
Da ist ein Loch im Zaun. Beim Wasser, also ich meine nicht im Wasser. Fred kennt...
This deeply chilling meta-commentary from director Michal Haneke is, and this is not a scientific assessment, the textbook definition of a feel-bad movie. Haneke's unorthodox slasher movie is even more effective due to its skewering of the genre's conventions, even refusing to be confined to a single genre altogether. The unflinching brutality of Funny Games is underscored by its pure evil antagonists, innocuously named Peter and Paul.
Raus! Jede Frau unterliegt einem Irrtum. Ich bin sehr froh, dass Sie da sind. Sie können uns sicher helfen, dieses Missverständnis aufzuklären.
Bitte, Georg.
This Austrian cult classic will have you questioning not only the film's reality, but your own. Haneke seems to be provoking his audience to ask themselves what they want out of movies, and at that point, why do they want it? Nothing like a little existential crisis to wash down Funny Games.
Für mich war das erfolglose Betteln um die Eier ziemlich unangenehm. Demütigend eigentlich. Weiß nicht, ob Ihnen das klar ist. Aber das lohnt sich doch eigentlich überhaupt nicht. Diese ganze Prozedur wegen einer Schachtel Eier.
Number 2. The Silence of the Lambs.
Did you do all these drawings, Doctor?
That is the Duomo scene from the Belvedere.
You know, Florence?
While this Best Picture winner didn't introduce Hannibal Lecter to the silver screen, that honor belongs to Michael Mann's 1986 Manhunter. It certainly turned the disgraced, man-eating former psychiatrist into a household name. Even more impressive, Anthony Hopkins' most famous character is on screen for just under 30 minutes, and yet his presence, sometimes his lack thereof, casts an ominous shadow over the entire film's events.
I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner. Bye.
Somehow the only horror film ever to have won the Academy's highest honor, it was only the third film ever to win the Academy's Big Five awards. Legendary director Jonathan Demme's tense, visceral masterpiece isn't just a pulse-pounding, fingernail-devouring thriller. It's a thought-provoking, though controversial, meditation on systemic injustice.
It places the lotion in the basket.
I want to see my mommy.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Kids, a raw, no-holds-barred exploration of 90s NYC youth culture.
I was just trying to be nice. He's gonna get a huge stain from me.
Jesus, it must have been something I ate. Ruben, follow me.
Wish me luck. Good luck.
In the Mouth of Madness, John Carpenter's supernatural horror flick will have you questioning your reality.
This is a rotten way to end it.
This is not the ending. You haven't read it yet.
Event Horizon. Jeez, Sam Neill really couldn't catch a break in the 90s.
What do you want me to say?
You said the ship's drive creates a gateway.
Yeah.
To what?
I don't know.
Where did it go?
Cape Fear. Robert De Niro's ex-con terrorizes a lawyer and his family in Martin Scorsese's gripping film.
14 years since I held a set of K's.
Well, you look good, healthy.
Thank you, because it's a struggle to stay healthy in the jungle. Well, you wouldn't know about that, would you? Here at me, they stick you with the white trash, and they don't strike a lick of work all day. Back.
Man Bites Dog. Imagine Best in Show filmmaker Christopher Guest directing American Psycho.
Huh?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Audition.
人間に自信を与えるのはきちんとした訓練だけなんだ。自信がなければ相手に依存して必ず不幸を招くことになる。
Japanese multi-hyphenate auteur Takashi Miike plays his audience's expectations like a harp in what seemingly starts out as a lighthearted romantic drama. Recently widowed Shigeharu becomes smitten with Asami after a series of auditions set up by a film producer friend of the former's in which young women would vie for his attention.
椅子の周りを歩いて振り返って次行こうか。
When she disappears, he descends into a rabbit hole that would make even Hannibal Lecter's blood run cold. Twisty and twisted, Audition is a journey into darkness that's guaranteed to churn the stomachs of even the most hardened movie lover.
浅見さんとこちらとの間で何かあったんでしょうか。私はただ彼女の居場所を知りたいだけなんです。
Did we miss your favorite freaky film of the 90s? Let us know in the comments below.
But I used to roll marbles in her stomach, my mom's stomach, and when I would hit the navel, she would give me $5.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.